Hi there, nice to meet you. My name is Grant James. I think I'm sporting a BYU Girl Dad shirt today. But yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit about an article that I just wrote, kind of walk you through it a little bit. It's called Five Tips for Using NFT Ads to Increase Your NFT Games DAU. I don't even know how you pronounce that, but daily active users. A little bit of background on myself. I'm the owner of Lead PPC. We're an ad agency. We specialize primarily in franchise development, lead generation, and kind of all sorts of pay-per-click ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, things like that for franchise development and franchisors, franchisees in general. Been doing that for about 12 years. One of the industries that we're expanding into is the NFT space, more specifically NFT gaming. I'm an MLG Halo player. I love everything that has to do with online games and stuff like that. And my partner and I have co-founded we're one of the largest guilds in the world. I don't know exactly where we stack up because so many guilds have kind of fallen by the wayside with the market dip. But at our peak, I think we have had around 5,000 active players. I don't know exactly where it's at right now. But we're in about 20 different games, and we're really focused on games that we can play as a group. So lately we've been playing a lot of like Bynamon Fire Wars, which is a lot of fun. It's like dragons in the sky. Also been doing some Darligo BR1, and looking at launching Mech here pretty soon. There's a game called Fancy Birds that has a new multiplayer game called Sky Wars we've been getting into. So anyway, loving all that type of stuff. So we're going to be talking about how to increase your daily active users through advertising. There's not a lot of options out there in some ways, but there's a lot that's kind of coming down the pipeline, and we'll kind of get into some of that as well. So one of the most important things, and you probably know this, is utilizing guilds, but I think it's important to know how guilds do what they do behind the scenes. Most of our players that we found have come from games that are hot and basically going into those discords and saying, hey, we have scholarships available. So whether that's like Axie Infinity or Peg Axie between December of 2021 and about March, April of 2022. Recently, we've been going into, since we're in so many different games, we've been going in and just posting, hey, we have scholarships. So probably the thing people are most interested in right now for us, and this is September 14th, 2022, is Fancy Birds. Just so many requests for that game. Probably because their token didn't really fall apart like a lot of tokens. It's pretty easy to play. And I'd say we were also getting a lot of requests for Darligo and a handful of other games. So what we try to do is guilds, I think, are really good at just constantly connecting with players, and they understand kind of the industry in general. It's important to have guilds that are active guilds. So I have a lot of friends that have started guilds, and then when the token prices and NFT prices have kind of fallen apart some, they kind of abandoned the space. So it's important that the people that you sell your NFTs to are people that are going to be sticking around. And also, one thing that we've been having a lot of success with lately, kind of behind the scenes, that's good to just kind of know, is that using Telegram seems to work a little better for like us as a guild versus using Discord. We have a Discord channel, and that's important, but actually getting active players to play multiplayer at a given period of time, Telegram works way better for us. So for instance, for like Bynamon Fire Wars, I literally pay out $1 USDT every day for up to 20 people that come and play like at a specific time. And as that expands, we'll help bring advertising dollars into Bynamon Fire Wars to help expand what we can do there, and then probably just have like a prize pool. So if 40 people come, they're earning 50 cents instead of like $1, just because I'm kind of footing the bill on that. And there's more of that kind of going on, like EV.io, for instance. They have a $10,000 Solana prize pool that they pay out in Sol. to all the players based off of kills. Anyway, but leveraging guilds and having them like help bring that player base is really important. Just make sure that you have a sustainable economy, because if your token prices and NFT prices are all shot, it does get really tricky because people just don't want to play the game. Um, Tips number 2 and 3 have to do with advertising. So if you have a Web 2 enabled game, then you can do advertising on YouTube ads and Facebook ads. If you need help with that, we've managed over $15 million in ads on these different platforms. Would love to help you out with that. Obviously, everyone's still kind of learning. There's not like a built-in, tried and true thing for NFT advertising, but I think we have a lot of understanding of the industry and how to design those advertisements to either sell NFTs or help bring in players. You'll notice like Guild of Guardians has been doing some advertising on Facebook. One of the groups that we invested into pretty heavily, Mech NFT, mech.com, with Trey Smith, those guys we found just through like a YouTube ad. So it definitely works. And we bought like 150 of those just from seeing an ad, looking up Dragon Master and then finding that. And I wish we could see more of that. I wish that it was more commonplace for games to advertise and not just focus on a mint and then just kind of bail. So I think that's important. So tip number 4, fix your reward system. So one of the things that I say in here is talking about how handing out rewards in your token does 2 really horrible things. One, it reduces the token price as people dump it, right? So inside of the swap, the more of it that gets put into the swap and the other token exchanged for it, then the price of the token that's getting dumped is going to go down. But also it really increases your circulating supply, making it nearly impossible to recover. So you have to be really careful with that. Basically, the way that so many games like Axie Infinity and Peg Axie and a lot of these games are designed is that they're expecting basically all these points are getting generated inside of these games, whether it's SLP or VIS. Those points are given in tokens to the players, and then they're expecting for guilds to come back and buy all that up to go get more players. So it's like very Ponzi-esque. Some things that we've seen that are more promising are entry fee based games. So I'm a big fan of stuff that is paid in stable coins. So BR1, for instance, I think has pioneered a lot of that. Before that, maybe Zrun is probably the best model to look at. If more games would have followed Zrun instead of Axie Infinity, as an industry, I think we'd be in a much better place, because paying entry fees is going to really you're adding to the economy instead of taking out. And just like Web 2, we're used to people adding, but for some reason in Web 3, everyone's just kind of like a taker. Pay me, I'm here to flip, I'm here to make money. And you don't run into, like, my personality is totally different, where yeah, we try to take some profits because you have to, because of the industry, but really I want to stay there as long as I can and really help build stuff. So doing entry fee based games, so with BR1 it's $1 per spawn, $1 per kill, so or 85 to 90 cents per kill. So if you spawn, it's like an arcade, you pay $1, and if you kill somebody you get like 85 cents to 90 cents per kill. So that's a much more sustainable model, and anything that can be done in stable coins, that's why we're even willing to help pay for some of those things, because we believe in those types of economies. Kind of a hybrid one. If you look at Fancy Birds, they have something called Birdseed, which is really pretty clever. Basically, every 5 days you have to pay 50 cents per bird. So we have over 500 birds. So it starts to add up a little bit. But totally down with it, because what we do is we're either paying in their token or in USDC. Then if we paid in USDC, the company takes a big chunk of that and goes and buys their token back and is maintaining that price. But it's circulating. People are putting money in. I'd like to see them have, with their Fire Wars game, I'd love to have some type of entry fee stuff there eventually, but I think that they'll get there. But not just like all this just yield farming stuff, I think is either going to change or go away, or there's going to be more different options in there. So really having a good reward system. We won't even get into games that are built like Axie anymore, because they just don't work. Because people forget that Axie has $50 million. Same with Zedrun, actually, that they've raised in order to help sustain economies and those types of things. Tip number 5: write content just like this. I mean, obviously, you found this article through SEO or through YouTube, with watching this video here. So those types of things can make a difference as well. So like, just always be putting out content, natural content, organically, that's well written. Video content, do paid advertising. And one other thing, for us, like with Firewars, for instance, I do this thing that's like Friend Friday. So if somebody brings a friend to come play with them, then I'll pay $1 for the person who came, plus $1 for their friend, and then $1 for them referring it. So those two people cost me $3. But that's okay, because like, we're building, right? We're making those things kind of work. And if a game has no players, then like, it's never going to work. So you gotta, if you believe in what you're doing, be willing to pay marketing dollars until everything is kind of sustainable, where people are paying and they love the game itself. But at the end of the day, like, it has to be a good game. If the game isn't good, it's just not going to work. Anyway, but if you'd like some help with advertising, or to kind of discuss what you guys are up to, fill out the contact us form on our site kind of below. And maybe there's an opportunity from a guild side, maybe from an advertising side. Not exactly sure, but yeah, love to connect. Thanks. Bye.